For decades, MCPS has offered a robust music education curriculum to students of all ages. What's the point? Find out next. I'm Aisha Mbowe, and this is To The Point, a talk show designed to drill down to do just that, to get to the point about various MCPS programs, initiatives, and opportunities, and how they ultimately benefit our students. Today's topic is music education within MCPS, and to help me get to the point are two experts on this matter. We have Katie Murphy and Phil Barnes here to my right. First off, just tell us a little bit about what you all do within MCPS and your role here.
Well, my name is Katie Murphy. I'm the coordinator for choral and general music, pre-K through 12.
I'm Phil Barnes. I'm the coordinator of instrumental music and theater. This is my 21st year working with MCPS.
Thank you. And we'll just start right off the top with why music education? Why have that in the curriculum? And how does that benefit our students?
The benefits far outweigh simply being part of our curriculum, but to answer your question, the Maryland State Department of Education has identified music as one of the core subjects important to be taught to all of our students, and as such, we have taken that directive and turned it into something that is robust and meaningful and will lead to lifelong love of learning music.
It's amazing. So MCPS, of course, we've been around for a long time, but when we're talking about music education, how long has that been a part of our history?
It goes back decades, generations, at least back into the 50s and 60s. We've had music programs in our schools.
And what are some of those programs for folks that are not familiar?
Sure. Students are introduced to music education starting in pre-K or kindergarten, depending on when they start. We have general music for every student in Montgomery County, pre-K through 5. And starting in 4th grade, they are able to choose to start chorus as well. When we get into middle school, both the choral program and the general music program expand, offering more variety. Students could take guitar, piano, rock band, all kinds of interesting ensemble classes, as well as choral performance, show choir, chamber choir, jazz choir.
On the instrumental side, we begin instrumental music in 4th grade as a pull-out program, offering the traditional band and orchestra instruments, woodwinds, brass, percussion, and strings. In the middle school, they can take band and orchestra classes. They can also participate in after-school activities such as the jazz band or a pit orchestra. And then as you get into high school, you get even more offerings. Jazz becomes a class at the high school level. There's marching band, there's chamber ensembles. We offer advanced classes like IB Music and AP Music Theory as well as you get into high school.
Just amazing. And I want to take it back to the younger ones. So let's say I'm a parent and I just brought a kindergartner into our system. When does that education start music-wise? Is it once they are in the 3rd, 4th, 5th? Do they start from as young as kindergarten? What does that look like in the elementary school level?
They start as young as pre-kindergarten. However, if you are a parent of a kindergarten, you'll find that your child will start attending music right at the beginning, week 1 of school. They'll get used to learning to sing and play musical instruments and learn all about the very beginning points of understanding musical concepts.
And I understand you both sort of oversee the two sides to it. So for you, Katie, if you can just tell us more about the general music education curriculum and that choral side of things.
Absolutely. So as I mentioned, in elementary school, they start very young, and we begin right away with learning to sing. We talk about different instruments that students can use. We take students through 3 very specific processes of performing, creating, and responding to music. So even our youngest students, our kindergartners, are beginning the creative process where they're creating their own simple songs starting at age 5. That carries all the way up through 5th grade as a course that all students experience. And then starting in middle school, students start to choose electives. They begin to choose the part of the musical program that they're most interested in pursuing. Some students go into chorus and they will learn how to hone their instrument, which is their voice. They'll learn a lot of skill and technique. And some students go the general music route with, like I said, guitar, piano, rock band, digital music, composition. It's really whatever niche they find the most interesting. And that continues all the way through high school.
Yeah, and it's interesting. When you think about things like math or literacy, you start from learning your ABCs and you continue to build on that. It sounds like music is pretty similar in that sense.
It's identical.
I love that. And with the instrument side, I think a lot of the kids start with a recorder.
Many students
the
do.
curriculum.
Many students do.
So if I pick, let's say, flute in elementary school, is the goal for me to build on my skills with the flute? Do we give kids, that freedom to kind of choose different instruments? What does that look like as far as the instrument side?
Yeah, so when they start in elementary school, we have 10 different instruments that they can choose from, including the flute. We build off the skills that students have learned in general music up through third grade and those recorder skills. As they choose their instrument and they start to build their proficiency on it, they can either stick with that instrument and really take it as far as they can go. We have we have lots of kids who make the all-state bands and orchestras, or if they decide when they get to middle school or high school, like I did, that I wanted to try a new instrument, then we offer that opportunity as well. And we have students who will graduate from our schools who can already play a multitude of instruments and do it in a number of different ensembles.
That's amazing. And one of the things we strive to do here at MCPS is to give the kids those experiences outside of the classroom, making sure they're out there in the community and utilizing those skills, or even just being exposed to different things. And the way we do that sometimes is through these partnerships. Tell us about our partnership with Strathmore especially.
Well, I'll go ahead and start because I'm the first, our general music is the first experience they have with it. Mm-hmm. All students in 2nd grade and 5th grade are invited to go to Strathmore to experience student concerts. The 2nd graders are treated to a performance by the National Philharmonic Orchestra, and the 5th graders are treated to a performance by a blues band. Both of the experiences were written in collaboration between Montgomery County Public Schools and Strathmore, and so they directly support our curriculum, and they absolutely bring to life what the students have been learning in the classroom.
That's amazing. Oh.
Yeah, and on the instrumental side, we have a couple of programs geared toward middle and high school students, especially our string students. We have a program called East County Strings that we work with 10 middle schools on the east side of the county, and we bring in teaching artists from Maryland Classic Youth Orchestras, which is the resident youth orchestra at Strathmore. Those teachers work with our string students during class and after school, and then we combine them into a mass orchestra for a finale concert. And then we also have a program that we've run the last few years called Latin Strings and Percussion, which we've utilized in the Magruder cluster. And again, we bring in teaching artists, not just for the strings, but also utilizing traditional Latin instruments like congas and bongos and timbales. And again, at the end, we combine all the schools together for a joint concert.
That's awesome. And one of the things that our MCPS TV producers get to do every single year, or at least try to, is capture those concerts. We actually have a tape for one of those concerts. Let's take a look.
Excited about Strathmore? Yeah! Awesome! To prepare students for the Strathmore concerts, I am implementing several different methods. For example, we're playing instruments with the songs that they're going to be listening to. We are dancing, we're using our musical scarves to help express the music that we're listening to. We are learning about duration. This year, the students will be singing along with the orchestra in one of their pieces entitled Risaldi, Risaldi. And to prepare for that song, I've been working with my students on triplets so that they can better follow along with the orchestra. One of the important things that they're learning are the instruments of the orchestra and the families that the instruments are in. So they're getting to see those instruments. They're also getting to hear what they sound like.
My favorite instrument is the trombone. I like that one. I'm so excited to see the concert.
When the students enter the concert hall for the first time, a door opens for them.
The concert was awesome. I got to sing along with the orchestra. I was so excited I jumped in my seat. It's my first concert and it's awesome.
Always such a wonderful experience to watch, and just to see the joy of those kids' faces when they're able to see it live, the preparation that goes behind it. Now, we know some students naturally will fall into a music career, but just talk about the benefits that these programs have on all students, regardless of what career path they take.
Yeah, music does a great job of building so many both hard skills and soft skills. There are many, many published studies about the benefits of music education for students. Higher grades compared to the average of their peers, higher graduation rates, building executive functioning skills. Even as you get older, there are studies that show that music helps prevent Alzheimer's and dementia. There was a study that came out a few years ago about med school students, and if you look at the undergraduate majors for med school students after pre-med, music is the highest represented major for students going to med school. So you don't have to necessarily go into a career in music to reap the benefits of being in a music class.
And that's not to mention, of course, the mere fact that it's part of our human existence, right? And to know more about this experience that makes life richer is just a benefit we think all children, all people should be exposed to.
That's amazing. Now, one of the things that we do like to do is check on our students and where they end up. As far as the kids that are able to find that love for music and want to pursue it as a career, what are you guys seeing for alumni?
Our alumni are all over the place in the world of music. We have several who are back here in MCPS teaching music to the next generation of students. We have students who are professional performers in orchestras and military bands all around the world. We have students who are music producers working with all the major record labels. We have students who are teaching privately or just doing a bunch of different side gigs to put together a living. So we run the entire gamut of music-related careers amongst our alumni for sure.
As a matter of fact, one of the students who attended one of the very first grade 2 concerts at Strathmore went on to be a composer that is now writing music that's being performed in the Washington, D.C. area. And he attributes his love of music partially to that experience at Strathmore.
That's amazing. That has to feel good as
Yes.
coordinators of this program.
It does.
For sure.
That's amazing. Thank you both so much for your expertise, Katie Murphy and Phil Barnes. And we want to thank you, our audience, for joining us. For more MCPS content, be sure to subscribe to the MCPS TV YouTube channel. Additional programming is also available and televised on the MCPS TV cable channels. Make sure you check that out. That's all for this episode. We'll see you next time for To The Point.